race for promotion from League One to the Championship is hot to bloody trot right now, with Portsmouth just 2 points clear over Bolton at the top of the table. But what's going to go on this weekend? We're going to take a little look next. That's right, folks. Back once again on a prediction video. Today we'll take a look at Matchday number 28, maybe, over in the chat in League One, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you knew where you've been, smash your subscribe button. Bang, all things League One related, Blackburn Rovers related, world football related. We got it all here, boys, under one rooski. Of course, the games never stop here over in League One, with, of course, a handful of games played last week, with, of course, the FA Cup prime focus. But, of course, full fixture list right here, right now. We're going to take a look at all of it in a second. Of course, if you knew where you've been, smash your subscribe button. Of course, whopping 78% of you are still unsubscribed. Your one-stop shop for League One continues. And again, big shout out to my VIPs. They are the patrons, of course. Also, disclosure, of course, we're not giving you a bang up to date with the Prediction League. They're still live, still going on. There will be a winner at the end of it. But of course, right now I'm playing catch up with a lot of stuff, and I'm still on the bloody on the move. So I haven't really had time to really sit down and take a minute to have a look at the results that have gone by. But we'll get to that soon. Again, going to come at you a little bit rough and raw right here, right now. But of course, the games still keep on going. There's no rest for the wicked, basically, what I'm saying. So these are the games that were last full fixture list in League One. Of course, like I said, the previous week, last week, was FA Cup. There was a handful of games. Not going to waste my time or your time to do a handful of games. Of course, it's realistically, I should. If I had the time, I would do it, but I don't. So this are the last 4 games, which I believe was on New Year's Day. 2-0 winners for Blackpool over Lincoln. We got Bolton Wanderers 1-0 winners over Burton. Cambridge United lost to Leyton Orient. 2-0 win on the road there. Carlisle United with a big 2-1 win over Port Vale. Charlton, of course, shit in the bed there against Oxford United. 2-1 win for them on the road. Derby County and Peterborough put up a classic there. 3-2 winners for Posh. Barnsley with a draw against Wigan. Reading with a 3-2 win over Exeter. Of course, Northampton Town with a 1-0 win over Cheltenham. Portsmouth 2-1 winners over Stevenage. Of course, a bit of a zing-zong game, that one. And of course, Shrewsbury 3-1 win over Fleetwood. And Wycombe Wanderers 3-2 win over Bristol Rovers. Of course, those were the last games, of course, and the first games of 2024. But what about the state of play in the table? Well, this is what it looks like right now. Again, it's not 100% because, of course, some points deductions and things like that. So, but the important stuff is at the top there. Portsmouth, of course, 2 points clear over Bolton. Of course, who are 2 points clear over Peterborough. That can all change and, of course, look completely different when we come back to you next time around. Derby, Oxford and Barnsley in the playoffs right now. Stevenage just outside. Blackpool got a bit of work to do. Northampton Town aren't going away either. Going down though, Fleetwood, Cheltenham, Carlisle and Exeter Reading doing themselves a bit of hard work recently. And again, don't look at that too clearly because it might be a little bit off. But anyway, that's, of course, that. Let's get into the next round of games. Again, next time I see you, hopefully we'll have an update with the prediction leagues. But they'll keep on going. The link's down below. Do what you do. And, of course, we'll see where we are when we come back. Of course, so these games kicking all off on the 13th of Jan. And we're going to kick off. Hopefully I got this right. I'm looking at it. I'm a little bit worried. I think I might not have it right here. What am I looking at here? Fleetwood Derby. This is wrong. Dirk, get the right ones up here. All right, then. Here we go with the next round of games coming at you from, of course, the 13th of January. We'll start right here at the top of the table. It's Blackpool up against Exeter City coming at you at Bloomfield Road. Now, these two sides have played each other 5 times in 2016. 3 for Blackpool, nothing for Exeter, and 2 draws, of course. Biggest win for the Tangerines, 2-0 win. They got 9 goals scored in 5 games, 1.80 goals a game on average. Exeter without a win against those Blackpoolians. 5 goals scored those in those 5 games as a goal a game on average. Exeter, though, just 1 win in 6, 30% form for them right now. 21st in the table, 23 points on the board. Up against the Tangerines on 50% form for them as of recording, 8th for the table and 39 points on the board right now. Last time around, though, over at Blackpool, it was a 2-1 win for Blackpool. That was in the League 2 playoff final. That wasn't actually in Blackpool, it was probably at Wembley. Last time I played there at Blackpool was in League 2 back in August 2016. 2-0 win it was for the Tangerines way back when. The odds, though, for this one, we're looking at Blackpool 7-4 on for the victory. We've got 3-1 is the draw, 92 is your win. Long travel for Exeter on this one. Going to go with the home win here, 2-0 win for the Tangerines on that one. Bolton up against Cheltenham, of course, coming at you over at the Reebok, wherever they call it these days. 8 times they played each other for 2016, 4 for Bolton, 2 for Cheltenham, and 2 draws, of course. Biggest win for Bolton, 3-0 win. They've got 10 goals scored in 8 games, 1.25 goals a game on average. Cheltenham, though, 1-0 win, the biggest, of course. 6 goals scored in 8 games, 0.75 goals a game heading into this one. Cheltenham, though, 50% form for them right now, 1-2 lost to and drawn 2 for them. They are 23rd, 20 for the table, 20 points on the board, 23rd in the table. Up against the Bolton side, winning 4 in the bounce, 67% form for them right now. They are second, and of course, looking to get back to the Championship for the first time in a long time. Meanwhile, Bolton with a 1-0 win last time around back in February 2023. That was in League One. The odds for this one, 50-8 on as your host here. Of course, 14-5 is a draw, 11-2 is, of course, your way win here. Bolton should win this one comfortably. 3-0 win for them at home. Meanwhile, Cambridge United up against Fleetwood Town. Of course, will Cambridge be here on the back of a win or a loss? Of course, Cambridge taking on Rovers in the FA Cup. They may have already played when this video goes out, probably have. 11 times they played each other since 2010, 5 wins to Cambridge, 3 for Fleetwood, and 3 draws, of course. Biggest win for Cambridge, 4-0 win. They got 16 goals scored in 11 games, 1.45 goals a game on average. Fleetwood, though, 1-0 win, the biggest, 9 goals scored in 11 games, 0.82 goals a game on average. Fleetwood rock bottom right now, 24th in the table with just 18 points, 17% form for them under Charlie Adam up against the Cambridge side. Back-to-back defeats, of course, 58% form for them right now, 18th for the table with 27 points on the board under Neil Harris at the moment. Last time around, over in Cambridge, it was a big 4-0 win for Cambridge. That was in the round 2 of the FA Cup this season, earlier in the round, of course. Meanwhile, Cambridge did beat them also in the league, last around 2-1 when it was back in April 2023. They've already played each other twice this season. It'll be the third time they play each other. Wow. The odds though for this one, Cambridge at even steams for the victory, 12-5 is the draw, 11-4 is your way win. Fleetwood under Charlie Adam, not sure it's going to work, guys. 1-0 win for me for Cambridge on this one. Carlisle United against Oxford United, coming at you over in Carlisle. Played each other 11 times, 2002, 4 wins to Carlisle, 5 for Oxford, 2 draws, of course. Biggest win for those, 2-0 win. They got 10 goals scored in 11 games, 0.91 goals a game on average. Oxford, though, 2-0 win. The biggest, 11 goals scored in 11 games, 1 goal a game on average. Oxford, of course, under Buckingham, 58% form for them right now, winning 3 of the last 5. They are 5th in the table with 46 points on the board. Up against Carlisle side, 33% form for them right now, 22nd in the table with 20 points on the board, of course. Last time around, over at Carlisle was a big 2-0 win for Oxford back in April 2016. Oxford winning 4, unbeaten against them over the last 4 games. But the odds right here, right now, 11-4 is Carlisle, even Stevens is your Oxford, and 12-5 is draw. I'm going with a surprise here. I'm going to go with Carlisle. 1-0 winners. I think the long trip for Oxford, cold day up there. I just think it's just not going to work out for Oxford, and I think I'm going to hedge my bets with a surprise, and that's going to be Carlisle United. Meanwhile, Charlton Athletic taking on Peterborough, coming at you over at the Valley. That's right, coming at you on the 13th of Jan. Played to the 19 times in 1983. 6 was Charlton, 7 was Peterborough, 6 draws, of course. Biggest win for the hosts, 5-1 win. They got 27 goals scored in 19 games, 1.42 goals a game on average. So the Posh, though, 83% form for them right now, 4-1 win, the biggest, 23 goals scored in 19 games, 1.21 goals a game heading into this one. Of course, Peterborough unbeaten at least the last 6 games. They are third with 49 points on the board. Up against Appleton's boys, of course, without a win in the last 6, 14th for the table, 29 points on the board. Of course, last time around, though, over at the Valley, it was a 1-1 draw back in Boxing Day 2022. But the odds here, right now, 21-10. It's your Charlton, 9-4 is the draw, 13-10 is Scottish Peterborough, who look too good for this. 3-1 win for them on the road, points in the bag, and again, making a push for those top 2 spots. Kick it on forward, though, it is Barnsley, it is Bristol Rovers. It's coming at you over at Oakwell. Now, these two sides have played each other 5 times, 2018, 2 for Barnsley, 1 for Bristol Rovers, and 2 draws, of course. Biggest win for Barnsley, 3-0 win. They got 6 goals scored in those 5 games, 1.20 goals a game on average. Bristol Rovers, though, 2-1 win, the biggest, scoring 3 goals in those 5 games, 0.60 goals a game on average. Bristol Rovers are winning 4 of the last 6. They are 6-7% form for them right now. They are 10th with 34 points on the board. They're still in this mix for those playoffs. Meanwhile, Barnsley, 75% form for them right now, unbeaten in at least the last 6 games. They are 6th with 43 points on the board. Last time around, though, over at Barnsley, it was a 3-0 win for Barnsley back in August 2022. Of course, the odds, though, for this one, though, we're looking at Barnsley 6-5 on for the victory, 5-2. It's draw 10-3. It's, of course, your away win here. We're going with a 2-0 win for Barnsley at home, but it could go either way. I think Bristol Rovers are a team to avoid right here, right now. Kicking on forward, there's Reading up against Port Vale. Another team to avoid right now is Reading. They've started to get some good results together. Played each other 9 times since 1994. 1 win for Reading, 5 wins for Port Vale, and 3 draws. Of course, Reading 2-0 in the biggest, scoring 9 goals in those 9 games. You could do the math on that one. Meanwhile, Port Vale 3-0 in the biggest, scoring 14 goals in 9 games, 1.56 goals a game on average. Port Vale, though, 2 wins the last 6. They're on 42% form for them right now. They're 15th in the table with just 29 points on the board. Up against the Reading side, of course, who are 20th with 23 points on the board, but they're on 67% form for them right now, unbeaten in the last 6 games, however, drawing 4 of those last 6. Last time around, over at the Matchday, it was a 3-0 win for Port Vale back in March in 1998. It's been a long time, guys, since these two sides locked horns. But the odds here for this one, Reading are 6-5 for the victory, 9-4 is, of course, your away win, and 9-4 is also the draw. Reading, for me, I think they're starting to get in a gear. 2-1 win for them at the Matchday, 3 points in the bag, and, of course, survival being on the front foot next season, though. Keep an eye on these boys. Meanwhile, Northampton Town up against, of course, Wigan. Again, a team doing actually hit a bit of a skids right now. Played each other 7 times in 2002. 1 win for Northampton, 6 for Wigan, and 0 draws. Biggest win for Northampton, in fact, the only win, It was a 3-2 win. They got 4 goals scored in those 7 games, 0.57 goals a game on average. Wigan, though, 2-0 in the biggest, scoring 10 goals scored in those 7 games, 1.43 goals a game on average. Wigan just 1 win in 6 for them at the moment, 17th for the table, 27 points on the board. Up against the Northampton Town side, who are 9th, 36 points on the board, just 1 defeat of the last 6. Can they do it? Would Northampton, that would be absolutely crazy if they were to get promoted. Last time around, though, over at Sixfields, it was a 1 win for Wigan back in February 2021. Of course, the odds are for this one, Northampton Town, of course, 11-10 for the victory, 5-2 is your Wigan, 12-5 is your away, 12-5 is your draw. Backing Northampton Town to win this one. They look good right now, good form, and of course, playing at home, they should win it. Meanwhile, Portsmouth against Leyton Orient, and the quick ones I'm of you would have seen the prediction here, but we'll talk about it anyway. Fratton Park is the venue. Portsmouth against Leyton Orient, played each other 9 times in 2012, 5 wins for Portsmouth, 4 for Leyton Orient, 0 draws, of course. Biggest win for Pompey, 4-0 win. They got 18 goals scored in those 9 games. That's 2 goals a game on average. Meanwhile, Leyton Orient, 1-0 win, the biggest, scored 12 goals in those 9 games, 1.33 goals a game on average. 58% form, though, for Leyton Orient right now. Just 1 defeat past 5. They are 12th under Richie Wellens, got 32 points on the board. Up against the Pompey side, 1-2 lost and drawn 2 over the last 6. But they are top. They have 53 points on the board, of course. Last time around, over at Fratton Park, it was a 2-1 win for Pompey over Leyton Orient. That was back in January 2017. Around about this time, a whopping, what are we looking at? I'm doing the math here. 7 years ago over in League 2. But the odds right here, right now, we're looking at Pompey 13-8 on for the victory, 13-5 is the draw, 90-4 is, of course, your away win. We are back in Portsmouth, 3-1 win for them, remaining top. And, of course, keeping the rest at bay. Meanwhile, kicking forward at Shrewsbury Town against Stevenage is battle of the S's. Of course, coming at you over at Gay Meadow, is that right? Played 11 times, 2003, 6 wins for Shrewsbury, 3 wins of Stevenage and 2 draws, of course. Biggest win for Shrewsbury, 3-1 win. They got 15 goals scored in 11 games, 1.36 goals a game on average. Stevenage, though, 2-0 win, the biggest, scoring 12 goals in those 11 games, 1.09 goals a game on average. Stevenage, though, just 1 win and 4 at the moment, bit of a rugby bumpy kind of part of the season. They are 7th with 43 points on the board. Up against the Shrewsbury side, 2 wins of the last 6, 33% form for them right now. They are 13th with 30 points on the board. Last time around, over in Shrewsbury, it was a 2-0 win for, actually 3-2 win for Shrewsbury back in January 2015. That was in League 2. The odds, though, for this one, Shrewsbury are 14-5 for the victory, even Stevens is your Stevenage, and 23-10 is the draw here. Tight one here, going to go with a 2-1 win for their visitors, back to anyways, and maybe getting back into the top 6 for their playoff push. Kicking off forward, it is Wycombe Wanderers. It is Lincoln City coming at you over at Adams Park. Played each other 20 times, 2004, 8 wins for Wycombe, 7 wins for Lincoln, 5 draws, of course. Biggest win for Wycombe, 3-1 win. They got 20 goals scored in those 20 games. You could do the math on that one. Lincoln, though, without a win in the last 6, of course, under Skalbalala, who's had a shit bit of form right now. 5 defeats in the last 6, just 1 point over the last 6 games. Pretty crazy form. 11th in the table, 32 points on the board. 3-0 in is their biggest, 24 goals scored in those 20 games against Wycombe, 1.20 goals a game on average. Wycombe, though, 42% form for them right now, just 1 win in 6, 16th in the table. 16th at the table, 28 points on the board, of course. Meanwhile, last time around over at Wycombe, it was a 2-0 win for Lincoln back in April 2023. The odds here, we have Wycombe 11-10 for the victory, 9-4 is the draw, 5-2 is your away win. It's got to be Wycombe, hasn't it? I've gone with the draw here. Point apiece. Skubala is a man under pressure. 11th of the table, of course. Realistically, if they strung a few wins together, they would be competing for those playoff spots. But unfortunately, doesn't look like it's going to happen. And it could be see you later, alligator, over at the Sinsel Bank. Anyway, kicking off forward is the last one. It's Derby. It's Burton. It's coming at you at Pride Park on Monday, January the 15th. Played 15 times, done 8th. 10 wins for Derby, 3 for Burton, 2 draws, of course. Biggest win for Derby, 3-0 win. They got 24 goals scored in those 15 games, 1.60 goals a game on average. Burton, though, 3-1 win, the biggest, 10 goals scored in 15 games, 0.67 goals a game on average. Burton, just 1 defeat of the last 4 for them, 90 for the table, with 27 points on the board. Up against the Derby side, 1 defeat of the last 6, 75% form for them right now. They are 4th with 46 points on the board. Last time around, though, over at Derby, it was a 1-0 win for Derby back in April 2023. They did the double over them last season and didn't concede a goal against them. The odds here, 5-2 on is your Derby. Red hot favourites, 10-3 is the draw, and 7-1 is your long shots, which, of course, Burton. Now, going to go with the home win here. Of course, we are 3-0 win for Derby to take home the 3 points and maintain their playoff spot. If I'm right, which I don't think I will be, but we'll see. This is what the table will look like. Pompey will be top of the table with Bolton, of course, and then Carlisle, Exeter, Cheltenham and Fleetwood. Again, there are games going on between now when I'm recording this and when this video goes live. Half a fixture list, which I'm not really going to waste your time or my time about it, but this is what I think will happen when we come back, whenever that is. But until then, guys, subscribe, thumbs up, hit the little bell. Of course, I do appreciate the support through this bumpy start to 2024. But a lot of drama, a lot of games, a lot of videos coming at you on the channel. But until then, I'll see you soon for the next one.